Like, Jay sends $50 and says AGDQ has been amazing this year. Keep it up. Let's kick cancer's butt. That's right. Elo sends $25 and simply says, thanks, AGDQ. Well, thank you for your donation. And now, coming up next, we're going to find out who's really behind the speed runs. It's Scooby-Doo, Night of 100 Frights with Jaxler and SnowyMoogle. Take it away.
All right, welcome back to GDQ, everyone. Like mentioned, this is Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights, and we're going to be doing an any % no CE race. We'll explain what that means a bit later. But to start, a couple introductions. I am Jaxler. I am one of the two runners.
Hi, I'm SnowyMoogle. I'm your other runner tonight.
And my name's Nestani. I'll be commentating this run tonight.
All right, so if you've never seen or heard of this game before, this game is a 3D Metroidvania platform released on PS2, GameCube, and Xbox. So, as per usual with Metroidvania games, we're going to be skipping a lot, but this is going to be a really fun race, and we're really excited to show this speed game off to y'all. Snowy, are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
All right, so we'll start counting from 3, and we'll start timers on go. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, good luck, Snowy.
You too.
All right, so at the start, we're going to be quiet for just a second so we can listen to an audio cue to skip this cutscene. And we're off. Okay, so the first thing you're going to notice are these Scooby snacks, and they make this pretty loud cha-chomp sound. The Scooby snacks are the most important collectible in this game. They are used to pay off these snack toll booth gates pretty much that are placed at key checkpoints throughout the game to make sure players have sort of explored enough. What we're doing here at the start is going into this side area that is normally just kind of a platforming tutorial and is kind of optional. We're actually coming in here to get a bunch of snacks. While we're going to be skipping a bunch of those aforementioned snack gates throughout the game, we need a lot for some of the unskippable ones at the end. Some of them go as high as like 800 or so. So even though it seems a bit out of our way, we're going to be grabbing snacks so that we can pay a toll gate right away as we go into the manor, as well as have a bunch of quick backups for later on.
And as we head into the manor, like Jack said, we're going to pay our first snack gate right here. Only 25 snacks, but it's definitely going to go up. And again, all these snacks really do matter. We should be paying the final snack gate with exactly the amount of snacks we need. And heading into the manor, it's a nice little introduction to how we route out a lot of the levels, because it's not necessarily the absolute fastest way through a level, but a combination of going fast and getting snacks as well.
Okay,
now,
chandelier jump.
We got chandelier jump. That jump is a lot scarier than it looks. But right here, you're seeing us jump off some invisible ledges, and these are kind of a theme throughout the game. There are a ton of these located throughout the game, and they will allow us to, like you saw right there, we got a few snacks earlier than intended, but we will break the game with them a little bit later into the run. Now, after talking to Holly in there, we're going to come out here and talk to the Don Knotts, and he is going to give us a shovel, which Scooby, despite being a dog, needs to dig up items. And we're going to use the key we just dug up to enter Shock on the Dock, the next level of the run.
And so in Shock of the Dock, essentially we're going to... it's going to bring in a lot of cycle-based. So every level in this is cycle-based. Essentially, what that means is that any platforms that you see, any things that move in the level, so enemies, platforms, even hooks in the level, you will see the runners try to make these specific cycles where if they are on time, it makes the cycle easy to where they don't get hit by things and they can easily move throughout the run. And you're going to see them try to make a cycle called Rat Cycle, where they just go right by the rat without having to jump over it. Because actually, if you jump in this game, you are moving slower than when you are walking on the ground.
So heading into Shock 2, we're going to learn that the term man's best friend is actually a lie, because this is one of 3 points in the run where we're supposed to do like a little mini cooperative puzzle with Shaggy, and we're just going to skip cooperating with Shaggy. So normally we're supposed to hoist him up to this life preserver here, but we're just going to run out and get a few snacks before quickly going and just jumping up ourselves.
Yeah, so you'll also see that we kind of approach that room a little bit differently. It's not really something that's necessarily optimal. It's just we kind of grab those snacks in an order that's most comfortable to us. Now, an important thing to note in the back part of this level is, like Nestani said, these hooks are going to be on a cycle. Generally speaking, if we were to go at the same speed every time, they'd be in the same place. But even little micro changes to movement can wildly change where the hooks are, so we kind of, as runners, have to be ready for anything. Now going
And,
into oh yeah, go ahead, Snowy.
No. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, come up here. We're gonna do a jump called Tarzan. So we're gonna quiet down because we actually do use a metronome for this trick here.
Or at least Snowy does. All right, let's see.
Okay. Well.
Oh, I almost had it. That sucks.
Yeah, I got hind legs jump there. Unfortunate.
Do you want to explain that, Nestani?
So essentially how tar struts works is that you can't run or jump on the tar that you see them walking on right now. And essentially there's just a 2-frame window where they can jump and actually get onto a barrel. And all tar struts really does is save you about 2 seconds and gives you 5 extra snacks, which is important, but honestly it doesn't do anything to the run. And we've actually acquired the springs in this, so now you're going to see the runners able to double jump instead of just single jumping, and they're going to death abuse, warp back to the beginning of the level, because whenever you die, you warp back to a beginning part of where you spawned in the level. And essentially you're going to see the runners basically backtrack to a warp gate where we're going to warp all the way back to Mystery Machine, where we're going to go into the hedge levels. And the hedge levels are a very good spot where we can discuss how movement works in this game. And I already mentioned that when you jump, you are moving slower. So throughout these next levels, you're going to really see the runners cut corners really tightly using the dash attack or the charge attack, where essentially Scooby charges forward and he can bonk enemies if he hits his head into them. But instead, we're going to really use it as a movement tool, and we're actually going to ignore pretty much every enemy in the game. And we're just going to use that to slide around and move on over these corners. And on these platforms, you see the runners try to immediately jump off of the one that is moving backwards. That's because when you land on a platform, Scooby will actually travel with it with his momentum, meaning that if you are traveling with a platform, you will go faster, and if you're traveling against a platform, you will actually slow down to a stop, which is why they jump immediately off of it in order to get over it. And now in this next level, you're going to see you might see a trick called Deep Cycle. Essentially, they're going to jump on a highly inconsistent ledge, which may or may not, they might get it. And if they don't, they're just going to jump right back, as you saw Snowy just did. And you
Not
see
quite,
Jax
but I backed
just
it up.
did.
Yeah, it's really hard.
Yeah, it's really an annoying trick, but honestly, again, it's one of those tricks that's like, it's about like 2 seconds, so it's not the end of the world if you miss it. And we're going to do... we're going to skip part of this level by jumping on this bridge here, and just with 2 jumps, we're going to jump on an invisible ledge and then jump on top of this bridge to get some extra snacks, which we're not supposed to be up here to get these snacks until we get the plungers and we actually go up some like sliding tar, which you will slide down if you don't have the plungers upgrade. But because we can just jump on invisible ledges throughout the game, you're going to see us skip a lot of parts in this game with literally just 2 jumps. And you're going to see that spread out throughout the run a whole lot. And Snowy, if you want to explain SCS coming up.
Yeah, so coming up, we're going to do our first kind of big sequence break of the run, and it's called Skull Cliff Skip. So at this point in the game, at the end of the hedge maze, there's a power-up called the football helmet, and that's what we're trying to get right now. But going through the hedge maze levels as intended is very slow. But it turns out Hill 3, the level the helmet's in, connects to a bunch of later levels, and in those later levels is a shortcut back to the level we're in right now, Hedge 3. And we're just gonna clip through the gate a little earlier than intended, and you can do this at home. You literally just hold up left on the D-pad, and you will clip through this gate.
Yeah, so I'm coming up on it right here, so you can see another example.
And that takes us to Misbehave and Cause a Cave-In. So this is a level you would not be at until maybe like another hour or 2 into like a casual playthrough. But we're here right now, and we're gonna go through all these later levels in the game backwards, because it turns out just going through them backwards is faster to get to the helmet, as opposed to going through the hedge maze levels as intended. It's funny because it is like, again, you're normally not supposed to be here for like another hour or 2, and the time save is about like 2 minutes.
Yeah, in the rest of the hedge levels, there's like even a really long auto-scroller that you would normally have to play through. It sucks. It's also another good excuse to skip Shaggy. That's kind of the theme of this run, is we skip Shaggy a lot.
And in this level, it's just called Score Full. Essentially, nothing much happens in this run, in this level, except for the fact that you will see players trying to make specific platform cycles, and you will also notice that they're going to be doing a lot of leaps of faith, or seemingly leaps of faith, because the camera is so bad, because they're going through the levels backwards. And this would also be a good time just to do some donation reads if you have them.
Yeah, I probably got like 4 or 5 worth.
I have 80 billion of them. Oh, they have stacked up.
Oh boy.
So, I'll just read them and you yell at me to shut up when it's time for me to shut up.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Connie Hart sends $50 and says, "Hey Moogle, I'm glad all your hard work paid off in managing to get into GDQ. All of us in the Vancouver anime fighting game community are proud of you. Hope your run goes great, and I hope to play you in fighting games again soon. Love, Connie. Less than 3."
Thank you, Connie.
And let's see here, we have Corundum Core says, "Hey
Hey.
Jaxler, Ruby again. Much love from the whole Speedruns Rochester family. Good luck to both you and SnowyMoogle on what's sure to be an awesome race." And they send $25.
Oh, thank you, Ruby. Oh, we got time for one more?
All right. Armless Kirby, so I guess just a ball, sends $20 and says, "What's poppin', Schmoogle? Win this race like you won those Koihime matches with Ryofu 5C. You got this."
Oh my god.
And so now as we go into Skull 3, you're actually going to see both runners do something different. So you saw Snowy go up the backside of this level to get some extra snacks, and Jax is actually going to run right through it. This is because you can alter your snack routing to your personal preference and choose and pick and choose which snacks you want to prioritize and get throughout the run. And so that's the most obvious snack routing change that you will see throughout the run. And because you'll see maybe one or two snacks being a bit different that they're going to go for, but that one's definitely the most egregious and obvious.
Yeah, and it's also important to consider that even though, it's a race and one of us might be visually ahead, because of the way that snack counts end up working, it will definitely, it's not the gap between us right now isn't as it seems, if
It's
that makes
literally
sense.
negligible, at best.
Yeah.
And
Snowy.
coming in here in Scar 1, we're gonna do what would look like a pretty scary ledge jump. And we're gonna basically skip a platform cycle by just a little invisible ledge on the wall. Hopefully I get it. Okay, there we go. I got it. You can just jump off the wall.
Alright.
and
I'm about
do
to
that.
This
attempt
time.
it.
And
Yeah,
then
we'll
he's
see.
just gonna ladder up this thing at the end too,
Yeah.
which is pretty
Because
cool.
we're not supposed to. But
Of
they're just
course
a
I
box
missed
is
it.
fine.
Classic.
And,
That's the Jaxler.
And as we mentioned earlier, we're now
Almost
here
missed
at
twice.
the end of the hedge maze, where we're gonna get our next power up.
We're good.
This time, do you want to explain Boulder
Yeah.
Cycle?
So essentially, we're gonna try to make another cycle known as Boulder Cycle, where you're gonna see Snowy basically try to beat this boulder to a little nook on the side of the road where he's just gonna watch the boulder pass and then go up instead of having to actually jump over the boulder, which he's not gonna make now, LMAO.
This game is mean sometimes.
Let me see if I can try and show it off.
Ideally, you want to get in that nook that you saw and not have to jump over the boulder, which does slow you down and throw off the rest of the cycle. As you see, you're gonna see when they approach these monsters,
I'm
they're
gonna
gonna
hit
be
it.
in different spots since
Nice.
Jack got it.
Yeah, there we go. So
And
you can get a
essentially,
short
we're gonna
right
get the helmet upgrade, and then we're gonna move on to our first really big skip of
Yeah.
the game, Galasha skip.
Yeah. So after we get the helmet, we're supposed to go through the manor and do a whole bunch of levels and defeat the Black Knight, which will give us the Galoshius power-up, which is what we're supposed to have to enter the Fishy Clues levels. But the only thing blocking us from entering the Fishy Clues levels is an invisible wall that really should have been made to be a little bit higher. And as a result, we can just jump off this barrel and skip a quarter of the game like that.
Smiley face 2 jumps, by the way.
Just like
2
that.
jumps.
Yep.
That's why we start explaining it like 20 seconds earlier.
Yeah, so do you want to go into Fishy?
Yeah,
Sonny?
so in Fishy, you're going to see these treadmills. This is what I was mentioning about momentum before, as when he travels with this treadmill, he's going to go faster, and then once he lands on the treadmill going backwards, he's going to try to jump off of it immediately to maintain his momentum throughout the air. And this is highly considered by many runners to be the hardest level in the game due to how tight these windows are and how the momentum changes that you go through in this level are so harsh.
Yeah. And if you're really fast, you can actually get by that flying fish at the end there, but I was just a little too slow. Still good, though.
Yeah. Fishy 2 is a really interesting level because it's kind of an auto-scroller. Which would normally be not too interesting in a speedrun, but because of the way snacks work, it actually means we have to really try and go fast throughout this level. So both Jax and I have a set idea of which snacks we want to collect, but a lot of the times when we miss a snack, it's too slow to go back for it. So normally we're going to check our snack counts at certain times in the run to just see how well we're doing on snacks and see maybe if we need to either collect more or maybe skip some we'd normally get. And so Fishy 2 is basically all about trying to get as many snacks as possible while still making some pretty generous cycles.
I think I got that one. That's fine. Yeah. This level, even though again it's an auto-scroller, it's really tricky.
Yeah, and depending on how many snacks we get, we can maybe save or lose time in a later level, despite we're never really going to directly lose or save time in the level itself.
Yeah, exactly.
And as you see Snowy approach Fishy 3, essentially you're supposed to go up this platform to do a whole big platforming cycle, but he's just gonna jump on another invisible ledge and just break across half the room and skip a whole big sequence of platforming cycles. And then he's gonna drop to the floor and get some snacks, because we are actually approaching our first, I would say, real snack gate. We did pay that 25 at the very beginning, but this is our first big one, which is 450, and it's gonna be in Fishy 4. And pretty much every runner that runs this game has a set snack count that they want, and most of the time they do check it here. And we can also go to some more donation reads right now.
Yeah, probably like 2.
Okay, I can do 2. Lily Snag sends $25 and says, I stayed up all night for the Night of 100 Frights race. It's so nice to see my favorite little community on the big stage after running the game for a few years. I'll donate an additional $5 for each runner that gets a 26 or better. Ooh, winky face.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's free. That's free.
Yo, he said that's free. Yo, he's gonna chunk to the 27. Watch this.
But thank you, Lily. Always good to see you.
Skywise sends $30 and says, good luck on the Scoob, Jaxler and Snowy.
Yo, thanks, Sky.
So up here, we're gonna enter the next 3 big levels of the game. It's called Coasts. These are highly considered some of the hardest levels in the game. So if you want to take over from here, Snowy.
Yeah, so one thing I didn't mention about Scooby's charge attack earlier is when he uses it, his hitbox becomes extremely narrow to the point where he is actually invincible from all enemies. And you're gonna see me abuse that right here with the K-Band. So because I'm charging, Scooby just isn't gonna get hit, and we're gonna use that a lot in the upcoming levels here. But coming up here, we're also going to go for a cutscene skip. This game has a lot of cutscenes where it's just kind of like, hey, look at the level you're about to do. But we don't want to do that. There we go.
Nice.
Jumping over a surprisingly high cutscene trigger. And
Yeah,
I'm gonna
and I'm actually gonna go for a variation
Nope.
on it, where I'm gonna try to land on the lamppost there to get me an extra snack, but we'll see how that works out for me. Just based on my snack count, that's what I want to go for.
And you're also going to see the runners kind of go off the track here and go to the back
Got it.
side.
Oh, I missed I had it. I missed the lamppost.
It's such a brutal, like,
Yeah.
the hitbox for it is just extremely brutal at
Yeah,
times.
it's fine.
And you're going to see both runners actually go to the back of this level, where you're not really intended to be here until you get the plungers. But honestly, like, you can just see those platforms in the back where you can just jump on them for free. And it's actually, like, pretty neat to just get a couple extra snacks earlier. Because
Yeah, it saves so much time on snack routing.
Yeah.
Two
And
jumps, baby.
up next, you're going to see Snowy get to it first, where we're going to do something known as Zero Cycle. And this is really going to show off the showcase of how we get around enemies with Scooby's hitbox in his charge animation.
Oh no!
Oh, did you? Oh, no. Yeah.
Oh no!
Wait, what happened?
Okay, so there's a thing in this game that I believe it's on January 9th, which I don't think what my clock is set to right now, where certain particle effects will happen when you collect a stack.
That's incredible timing, because it wasn't doing that before. That's hilarious.
No, it wasn't. I've been doing like practice earlier today.
That's hilarious. Anyway, I hit Zero Cycle, so I'm cool.
So both of them
but
hit
we're
Zero
coming-
Cycle, where basically Scooby's charge attack, just real quick, it's just his head, so as long as you aim your head away from enemies, you won't hit them. And you're going to see Snowy actually get damaged intentionally by a flying fish up here, and he's just going to become Great Dane Jesus and just walk across the water like a super alpha gamer.
I wouldn't phrase it like that, but you know, it's a really cool strat. And again, like, this is one of those things where, you know, like, we don't need to go back here technically, but we need the snacks really bad, because spoiler warning, we're going to be spoiling a ton of the game, especially as we get into well, end game rather. But I hit the good cycle on Coast Boats, so now we're heading into
essentially they're going to
Lighthouse.
say their second to final snack gate, which is a 500 gate, and now you're going to see the runners you would seem to be over collecting. Oh my god.
No, what
That's
did you
so
do?
egregious. No, it's just the
like
effects. They're so big. But
Wait, what happened?
now you're gonna see the runners
It's the
are,
flower and heart effect.
Oh, okay.
the runners are like at like 400, 500 snacks, which now they just need to build up and get a bunch of snacks in order to pay the last gate, which is 850 snacks. So it might have seemed that we were over collecting and collecting a bunch of snacks that we didn't need, but actually we do need them because of how harsh these snack gates are. And up here in Lighthouse 1, you're going to see more of the same in Coast 2, where we're going to just juke around these enemies. And
Yeah, probably the
move
most
up.
egregious example.
Yeah, and move up to the top, where we're going to get the final upgrade that we need to actually beat the game and beat Mastermind, the Smash Power-Up. It's basically it's a ground pound. And
Oh. This is the worst level for it.
and there's also
can do
a
it, Snowy, I
ton
believe
of
in you.
snacks in this level, which you could definitely see on Snowy's screen with this.
Yeah, so
funny.
this was actually happening to me when I was warming up, so I actually had to go onto my Wii's internal clock and change the date. That's really unfortunate,
Yeah.
so because it wasn't happening to you earlier, so
I was
it
like,
must-
I'm on West Coast. I'm not on East Lake Jax. I'm
Oh
fully
yeah,
fine.
that's right. Oh no, I'm so sorry.
And also, we can squeeze in another 1 or 2 donation reads here before we reach the
Yeah,
gauntlet
while
that
we
is the
collect
end
while we
game.
collect ourselves.
All right. Let's see. Lord Tet sends $20 and says, "What's up, Jaxler? Hope this gets to you in your run. Miss you, man. Good luck and have fun."
Holy cow, thanks, homie. That was my roommate in college.
Meggie sends $20 and says, "Hello, Snowy. Much love from your homies in Vancouver AFGC, the most toxic scene. Good luck on the run. Love you, man. Toy
That is
Humane
true.
moment. Put this towards runner's choice."
All right, so up here, we're actually going to reach the real big gauntlet of the game, where you're going to see 2 tricks that are considered the hardest tricks in the game. They're called RBS and GGS, which RBS just stands for Redbeard Skip, where we skip the Redbeard boss fight and a bunch of the ship levels and the wreck levels in the game. And then also we're going to skip the Green Ghost boss fight, which GGS stands for, which normally we need the upgrades from these bosses to progress. So up here in the RBS room, which we will see first, when you beat the Redbeard, you need his gum in order to get to the basement levels, in order to get a soap upgrade, in order to have bats spawn in this really tall chamber where you freeze the bats in the air, jump off of them, and then get all the way up to the top of this really tall chasm. But essentially what we're going to do is we're going to jump off of 2 invisible ledges magically, and we're going to get to the top of it, skipping the entirety, skipping about 50% of the game. And then we're also going to do the same in GGS, where we normally need an umbrella to get to the top of the GGS room, but by killing Gringos. But instead of doing that, we're just going to jump on, again, 2 ledges and make it to the top of the room, jump across a bat, and then make it to the end. So right here, you're going to see Snowy skip Shaggy completely and just jump on another invisible ledge and get a key, so we don't use Shaggy at all in the run. And now he's going to attempt RBS. This is the room I was talking about. And he gets a first try. Nice, nice. And now he's going to attempt GGS. This is the second one that I was talking about. And
Interesting.
essentially,
Okay.
another
It's like a
thing to
weird
note
death.
about these jumps is that they're very, very precise. So this is definitely a big spot where you can lose a lot of time if you don't nail the tricks. But luckily, Snowy's just fragging out right now. And he's gonna basically, now that he's in the final level, this is the level right before we're gonna pay the 850 snack gate. So you're gonna see him.
Oh my God. No.
Ooh, died to the electricity, and now we're actually getting pretty close.
And I got first try RBS.
They're
This could be
both
close.
at
Let's see.
GGS.
All right, here we go. Let's see if I can get half
This
that.
is really close now. And now in this room, again, you're gonna see the runners basically
Come on.
collect the last snacks that they need for the 850 snack gate in the level
Okay.
after this. And as you saw, if you touch the electricity, you will die, and you have to do the GGS trick again. So you can see how this room in particular is a very big run killer, hence why we have a category split, actually, where we have a no GGS route for beginner runners to start running on, because this room can be very brutal to deal with without the umbrella. And up here, you're going to see Snowy do what's known as Lido Skip, where he's going to ladder himself off of 2 invisible ledges to make his way up to the 850 snack gate. As you can see, he has his 850 snacks, and he's just going to jump into this, pay it, and he's going to be off to doing the last 2 skips in the run that we're going to attempt.
Yeah, so right here, we're gonna, for the final time in the run, we are going to skip Shaggy. He has unfortunately found himself above a shark-infested pool.
Good Lido.
And normally was supposed to like swing off his legs and hit the buttons. Unfortunately for him, we can clip through the door in the back, so...
Yeah, huge shout out to Sam for finding that skit.
Yeah, this was actually found not even a year ago.
Yeah.
This is one of the most like recent discoveries.
Right
People
and
and,
Smiley.
But Shaggy, as you'll see here, right after we skip this last cutscene, Shaggy was able to save himself. He is completely fine.
Yeah, he didn't need us. He's a strong, independent man, dude. He's got it.
I don't know
All right,
why I
hold
went
on
through
just a
this.
second.
I don't know why you did
I'm going for the short room skip.
Nerves.
Okay, I got a first try. Never mind.
Okay.
And so it may
Never
seem
mind, I got it
that Snowy is actually a little bit ahead of Jaxler, but the funnest part about this run, as you will see, is that at the end of it is the only true form of RNG that we have in this run, where Mastermind essentially, once you defeat 2 minion waves, as you're going to see Snowy do so here, and hit some buttons to advance the fight forward, Mastermind will spawn in the room, and we're supposed to hit him into the electricity that you see on those buttons there. And once Mastermind touches the electricity, the run ends, just as a note for the GDQ people. That's when time stops. And this is the only true point of RNG because Mastermind spawns are random. So he could spawn in the back of the room, meaning that we could have right down to the wire depending on how far away Mastermind spawns versus how close he spawns.
Yeah. Also, one thing to note, I never knew the flower effect happened with food as well.
Wait, it happens with food?
Because I've never run with it before.
Yeah.
I forgot that was
I am so proud of you for toughing that out. I'm not gonna lie. All right,
Oh,
I'm
you
going
got
into
a
the last
nasty
phase.
Mastermind spawn.
All right.
Okay, and right when the electricity appears, it should be time.
The time's gonna stop for Snowy,
And
right? Now.
Time.
All right, GG, Snowy. I'm coming up on time relatively soon, so
Yeah.
get ready for me.
Yeah, she's
I just got.
also
Oh
about to
my
start.
gosh!
Oh
I got.
my god, perfect.
I got the goated spawn. So
One
if I
hit.
didn't take that weird death, all right, get ready on time, and
Pause check.
time. Okay.
The electricity was really waiting on him.
Yeah.
We're like, is we gonna hit him? We're gonna zap him?
Yeah, I don't know what was happening there, but yeah, that would have been really close if I didn't take that unfortunate death on the zombie there. But GG, Snowy, that was a lot of fun.
Dude, that was like...
That was
That
really
was
close.
definitely like... No, like,
That's
I died in the
definitely the
electricity
last
room,
one.
and it's like,
Oh.
okay, like... Oh my.
no.
Yeah. That's always the scariest part, is you get GGS, you get a good run, and then you could just die right there. But yeah, that was Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights, any percent no CE or creepy early. We kind of forgot to mention that, but don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
it's-
Anywho, don't worry about it.
It's just a trick, you know.
So at this point, we're gonna start moving into shoutouts real quick. We're gonna try to keep this quick, but I'll just start by saying, if you enjoyed the run, consider following us on Twitch. My Twitch is Jaxler1, Snowy's is SnowyMoogle, and Nestani's is just Nestani. So go ahead and check us out, and if you want to as well, follow the Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights directory on Twitch. You can actually follow game directories now, and there's a lot of people speedrunning this game currently. We have a really active community, and that would be a really good way to find even more Scooby runners outside of just us. Snowy, if you want to go ahead on plugs.
Just huge thank you to GDQ for just allowing us to run this, especially as a race. I'm just like, we're just so happy to be able to show off this game and how great of a speedrun it is. Also, just like shout out to the Scooby community in general. They've just been like so warm and welcoming when I've like I'm one of the relatively newer members of it, and just have been so nice. I was just like, shout out to everyone just like at home that's been like watching and supporting. It's just like it's just unreal the amount of support.
Yeah, I echo the sentiment too.
Like I've gotten today. It's amazing.
Sonny, if you got.
And my shout out pretty much, if you all are interested in running this game, we actually have a beginner route that I mentioned a little bit ago. It's called the no GGS route, where we just don't do the green ghost skip and we just go fight green ghosts instead of doing that trick and risk dying in lab. It reduces frustration. So I have that tutorial up on my YouTube channel. If you look up Nestani speedrun, I should pop up for you. You can just click on my channel and watch the tutorial, and it's literally under 30 minutes long, so you can really just get right into it. And then I want to shout out Ryan, because he's the one who brought me into this community in the first place. And then also shout out to Pokimane, PokeW. Told you I
Makes
was gonna
never
do
change.
it. Yeah, you thought I
all
was
good,
gonna-
all good, all good. At this point, one last thing to mention. If you're interested as well, we do have a Discord for both this game and pretty much every Scooby game if you want to speedrun it. If you go to any Scooby game on Speedrun.com, you should be able to find it. But just feel free to reach out to one of us if you have trouble finding it. And on that note, we pretty much don't have anything else to say. I'll say one thing, make sure you stick around for the medieval run. I'll actually be on the couch for that. So tune in for that. That is such an insane run. You all are in for a treat. But until then, enjoy the rest of the event. Stay healthy, stay safe. And thank you so much to the GDQ community for having our scene here. Thank you so much.
Peace.
All right, let's give it up again for that great Scooby-Doo race. Yeah. You know what? I'm thinking this is just my own personal thoughts. What other Hanna-Barbera properties could be made into video games and what genre? Currently, I'm thinking maybe Touche Turtle as like a character action game. You know, Devil May Cry style. That's my own thoughts. So this is what I want you all to do: donate and pitch to me personally, the Emperor of Video Games. Who can make any video game manifest at any time when I want. Your Hanna-Barbera video game concepts, and we'll see. Well, I'll talk to my people. We'll see if we can make it happen. However, I do want you to donate towards the Oddworld Stranger's Wrath incentive, which is Catch Decased Raider. And Decased Raider is a forced loss event that you can technically beat with an out-of-bounds glitch. So, you know what? If the video game's going to cheat and try to force you to lose, we're going to cheat right back. So please donate to that and let me know which Hanna-Barbera games, video games, need to be made. While we're doing that, let's tackle some of these. There were a lot of Scooby-Doo donations, so let's get some of these out. Jackalaka sends $25 and says, "Good luck to both Jaxler and SnowyMoogle. So glad to see Night of 100 Frights in the marathon. And shoutouts to Jax for being one of the best people I've met through speedrunning." Well, thank you so much. Keys, which is Keyz, it is not Keyzeron, says, "I hadn't seen this game before, and I just learned my girlfriend had it as a kid, but couldn't beat it. We're donating for a good cause and to see how it's done. Looking forward to some Scooby snacks." Timothy sends $50 and simply says, "Jinkies." That's right, Jinkies. Suppa sends $5 and says, "Yo, let's go, it's Scooby time." Heck yeah, Scooby time. Narthex sends $250 and says, "100 frights? We'd have a heck of a lot less frights if it weren't for you meddling kids." That's true. Let's meddle some more, shall we? Meddle through donations. I don't even know what that means. Let's see. Papa Carey sends $5 and says, "I'm so excited for the Scooby-Doo run. This is my husband's favorite game. Much hype to this run." That's right. That was a really hype run. I loved it. Those flower particles, extremely good. That was the perfect time for that. Masquerades Fox sends $25 and says, "As the current Guinness World Record holder for biggest Scooby-Doo collection, you best believe I had to support the Scooby run. Thanks for all you do, GDQ. Can we get a Scooby snack donation train?" That's a great idea. You know how Shaggy has like the sandwich with like a gazillion things in it and then he just eats it in one bite? Let's do that, but with donations to charity. Don't eat the donations. I'm not sure where I went with that. Don't eat the donations. Send them to the charity. The charity can eat the donations. Sure. Thony sends $10 and says, "Been looking forward to this run all week. My boy SnowyMoogle has been grinding this game for a while, and it's been so fun watching him improve and get to where he is now. Sending some woobies for my boy, and good luck with the run, guys. Put this all towards Snowy's choice." Powell sends $25 and says, "I loved playing Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights as a kid and can't wait to see the game broken." And with that, we are going to go to a Twitch ad, but stick around. There are many more great games coming up after this. incentive. Let me do a refresh to see exactly where we are on that. Catch DK Strader. You're supposed to lose this, but with the power of going out of bounds, we will not lose it. We are at $1,340 out of 3,000. Get that money in. Let me know which Hanna-Barbera video games you want to see in the world. I will use my magic to make it happen, but probably not. Speaking of which, Justin Dark sends $25 and says, "Can I has a Captain Caveman game?" That's right, Captain Caveman. See, I watched a lot of the old Hanna-Barbera, so you all can throw whatever you want at me. Full Almond sends $5 and says, "Well, Jaxler hit the jump first try, so a promise is a promise. Here's 5 more." Thank you so much. Ghost Duck sends $25 and says, "An El Kabong Metroidvania, please." That's right, Kabong. You know, Quick Draw McGraw was a horse, and he rode a horse. Explain. I know people always go for the, oh, Goofy is a dog and Pluto is a dog, but the entire point just doesn't make any sense to any of you. It doesn't make any sense to me. The Sound Defense sends $50. Game Pitch, a Yakuza-style game in the universe of Top Cat. Yes, please. We need we need to make that game happen and then have an incentive for if we can switch to the Mexican voices, because I've heard the Mexican dub of Top Cat is actually bizarrely good. I have not seen it myself, but I have heard it's actually really good. So that's what I want to see. Kit sends $300 and says, "We need to see the Catch Raider. I rented Stranger's Wrath multiple times from Blockbuster. Many memories. Here's to getting it halfway." Well, thank you so much. And just 3 sends $50 and says, "All the serious talk about snack routing absolutely made my night. Thanks for such a great run so far, and here's to all the impressive runs yet to come. Scooby Snacks choo choo." That's right, we got a donation train going. Okay. Oh, this is a good name, this donation. We have a $25 donation from blip blop bleep blop doop da doop doop bleep blop blip boop boop. Good. They said $25 and says, "Yogi Bear, but it's from the point of view of Ranger Smith and it's a psychological survival horror." Yes. Yes, please.